Hello and welcome to Talking Socks Part 6. This is where we pick up the stitches. Okay, and we're going to be back on our circular needle before you know it. Okay, so picking up our stitches, we start by knitting across the heel. Okay, so we should have 16 stitches on our needle. So first we're just going to knit 16. Okay, so knitted 16. Now before I pick up my stitches, I'm actually going to change colour so that you can see perhaps a little more easily what I'm doing, and also I'm then ready to work in my stripy yarn again. Okay, but if this is your first sock, you'll just be carrying on. So I'll just change colour. So we're going to pick up the stitches down the side of the heel, and the pattern says to pick up 14. Now you're going to pick up, and this is the way I do it, through these stitches on the edge. I like to pick up through both parts of the stitch because it gives a nice strong edge to my heel of my sock. Works for me. So can you see where the needle's going? It's going in there, and that's where we're going to pick up the stitches. Now I'm going to use my contrast yarn again, so I'm going to go back to my Barbara so that you can see hopefully what I'm actually doing. Okay, so to pick up the stitch, you go in through both parts of the stitch, wrap around as if you're going to knit, and pull through. And there's your first stitch picked up. Okay, so let's do the next one. So we're going to go through both loops, wrap around as if to knit, pull the stitch through the next stitch, knit it, and it comes through. And we're going to go all the way down the side of the heel, and that should be 14 stitches. I've got 5 there so far, look. Okay, so I go through both, wrap around as if to knit, pull through. So all the way down the side of the heel. And then we'll count and see how many we've got. Pigeons running around on my roof. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Have I got one more? Yes, I have. Look at that. Make sure I go through both of those loops there like that. Right, so I've got my 14 stitches down the side of my heel. Now we're going to knit across. It says knit 26 in the pattern, which is knitting across the stitches that we actually saved on our circular needle. So what we need to do is untuck the ends of the circular needle that have been holding those stitches, and they've been safely tucked inside the sock. So we're just going to knit across these stitches. So with another double pointed needle. So we're literally just knitting across. So I knit my first one. My second one, I give it a good little bit of a tug so that I don't end up with a hole where it's a bit loose, okay, because we're going around the corner and we're joining these stitches back in. So I've got 26 of these, knitting across. I've got quite a lot of needles, but you get the hang of just holding them out of the way. We'll soon be back onto our circular needle again. So just knitting across all these stitches that we've saved while we've been doing the heel. Almost there. Okay, so knit 26 across, circular needle out of the way for a little bit. We don't need that just for this next part because we're going to use another double pointed and we're going to pick up stitches up the left hand side of our heel. It's exactly the same as we did on the other side, exactly the same. So we're going to pick up, because I changed colour, that you can see exactly where I need to pick up. And you need to make sure you pull it nice and tight, this first one, because otherwise you'll end up with a bit of a gap there. We don't want pesky holes in the corner of our socks. So I do my first one and then I pick up my second one through both loops, give it a nice tug so it's nice and tight. That's my second one. Okay, and working into my third one. So exactly the same as we did on the other side, we're just going to go picking them up, going through both loops, side of the sock, side of the heel. What have we got to? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I need 2 more, which looks about right. I'm just going to wiggle those across there so not so tight. 13, 14, and that's your stitches all picked up, heel sorted, ready to knit back in the round. Okay, so next time we'll be knitting back onto our circular needle and I'll show you how to do the gusset of your sock. So that's part 6 of your sock done. More than halfway there.